Everyone, and welcome to Defence of the Australians Autumn/Winter tournament going ahead today. We have Rest Gaming versus Space Created, and joining me along for the cast is Avant-Garde's Muffin Man. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? Pretty good.
Are you used to being called Avant-Garde's Muffin Man yet, or is it still a bit new?
No one's ever addressed me like that, so this is a first.
Man, it's still important. I've got to put your sponsor name in front. You know, you gotta give them the hype.
Exactly, but I'll settle for AV.
AV?
Just AV, or AVAU.
Yeah, see, AVAU has a nice ring to it, so I'll give it that. But going into the draft, I think we're going to see pretty standard gaming. I haven't seen the new Rest Gaming play at all, I don't think, yet. They had a bit of a shuffle after last season. And then, yeah, I haven't seen Space Created play either, so this will be quite interesting.
I'm in the same boat as you. I haven't seen this new Rest side play, and I can't keep track of all the Rest squads anyway.
Yeah, they have shuffled quite a few times, because when they were sort of in their prime, it was Tondas, Miggle Z, and then Miggle left, and then Triangle left, and then what else happened? Mr. Black was on the team for a little while, I think, and all sorts of things have happened with that team. But hopefully we see something good out of them today, same as Space Created, and the band's pretty standard for this patch at the moment. Lycan and Invoker gone from Rest, and Ember Spirit and Naga gone as well from Space Created, so all those heroes you don't really want to play against at all. No one likes Lycan or Naga.
Yeah, no one. Actually, a lot of the pro players, when they were asked on the BTS talk show, every single one of them was talking about Lycan, Naga, and what was the other one? One more that they all had a problem with, Ember Spirit. Yeah, all three of them, they thought it needs a nerf.
Ember Spirit needs a nerf, but I think he's not that powerful. Like in the right hands, he's a great hero, but there's a lot of heroes like that, and I think he's so strong because he's so new still. If they left him the same in another month, he's so easy to counter. Like I don't know, I just don't think the hero's that good. Lycan I do have a problem with. It's got like a
you have a few points there with that opinion. I agree with it.
But he does need a nerf, but I think all he needs really is a nerf to Sleight of Fist cooldown. Give it an extra 4 seconds top level. And
I liked the idea that was presented by one of the players, maybe it was Hani, where he suggested to nerf the AoE of Sleight of Fist. I think
that's a good idea.
That's a good option.
Because it's got a very long cast range, and the AoE is really big as well, so you can cast it from anywhere. Another thing was not letting it hit fogged units. Because it hits everything when you can't see it, which is a little bit ridiculous. But Rest Gaming, they're going to pick up the AA and the Dragon Knight along with Space Created using the Centaur and Marana. So not your DK this early is a little bit different. It's not one of those heroes that really gets banned out a lot, so it'll be interesting to see. It's interesting to see what Rest Gaming want to do with that.
Yeah, I think well, the reasoning I could try and think of for them to pick DK this early is they were set on picking the DK, and they're just not sure what other heroes they want to draft around it yet. They want to see what Space Created pick first. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Otherwise, the DK, yeah, it's an unpopular choice this early.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess as you sort of say, they're going to go for a DK push strat kind of thing. Like, he's one of those heroes. He's hard to kill. He kills towers pretty well, but he doesn't bring anything amazing to a lineup.
I think it's a jack of all trades hero. It can always work in a lineup. You can always have a DK feel like it does something because it's got a stun, it's got a nuke, it can spam the fire breath to hold your towers, it can push and take good trades. So it's got a lot of elements to it. It can carry, so overall it's a strong hero that can work in a lot of ways. It's just picking it this early, questionable.
I suppose it doesn't give too much away, other than, I mean, you can still run it as a carry as well. Like, you see him put into the safe lane occasionally, and I guess with a long duration stun, it would combo pretty well with the cold feet, so it wouldn't be the worst safe lane hero. But we have Bane and Nyx banned out by Rest Gaming, along with the Batrider and the Timbersaw from Space. So, and they've already got, you know, Centaur's one of those heroes that's highly picked, but he kind of doesn't get banned anymore because there's other things that people really want to get rid of.
Exactly.
So he slides into the draft a lot, and a really good offlaner hero. He's just impossible to kill if you don't have like 3 stuns in your safe lane. He's just not going down.
Centaur is actually the most picked hero in professional Dota over the last month.
Wow, most picked and banned, or
just straight up most picked?
Okay, yeah.
And do you want to have a guess at what the second and third most picked over the last month?
Most picked isn't it Lycan and Ember?
Most picked, no, because Lycan and Ember.
Oh yeah, they always get
banned. A lot
banned.
of bans, yeah. The second most picked hero is Ancient Apparition. Third most picked is Batrider.
Okay, well we've got all 3 of them here, but Batrider's banned.
Exactly.
So we're looking at star heroes, and we see the Dazzle picked up and as well now for Space Created. One of those heroes that's come back into the meta. You know,
in the Western meta.
Yeah, in
it's
the
very
Western.
Popular in Western Dota, not so much in the Sea and Chinese regions.
Yeah, but yeah, he used to be really popular with Shadow Demon like a year ago, and then we saw Cortex or Mecha TT start picking him up with Shadow Demon as well, and then we've sort of seen an uprising in the West as well, as you said. You know, people just watching Kazo all over the world and stealing his strats, obviously. It's a hard life for that kid, man.
Is it okay if I leave now? Does it look like they want to pick Shadow Demon here? Like they want to pick...
They could actually pick Shadow Demon here, to be fair. Combos up well with the Brother.
Just pick it now to deny them Shadow Demon?
I mean, I don't really see Shadow Demon as that strong a hero, so
it wouldn't work very well.
For them, it just wouldn't do anything.
To deny the pick.
Yeah, I mean, they could pick it up, but then you've got, you know, Mirana Dazzle SD Trilaners. It packs a damn punch if you can line up the SD and the Mirana well. Yeah, if you can hit the arrow, yeah, if you can hit the arrow, it's easy. But you know, you got to have the timing. The team's got to, you know, you got to have played together a few times. You got to know the timings. But they are going to pick it up.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's pretty freaking easy.
Yeah.
Hey, arrows from a disrupt setup.
Yeah, well, it stays the same at each level, which I think is the easiest way, because it's 2.5 seconds every level. But yeah, so this is like, I mean, you know what they're going to do with their lanes now, at least. Like, it's 100%, you know exactly what's going on. I don't think Mirana Dazzle Shadow Demon can really be running as an aggressive. I don't see it that powerful.
It's going to depend on what Rest Gaming's heroes are, but I think they've got a lot of options with their lanes, don't they? They can do all sorts of things, even running the Centaur in the aggressive try, or running dual lanes with the Potom and the SD and the Dazzle somewhere else, so they can level effectively, and whoever the Potom SD are up against is going to get zoned out. So that's a very effective dual lane in my eyes. So they're not limited to just doing this crazy tri lane. They can do many things.
Yeah, and then you've always got the backup of sort of in the mid game when the Mirana Dazzle and Shadow Demon are around each other. You've got the combo then as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, so as you said, they don't really need to rely on it. You know, as we see it now, we're going to have Sand King probably semi jungle. And support and AA as the support and DK mid, but they could run those 3 heroes as their tri lane if they want to, but a lot of people now are just running the Sand King, pulling, stacking in the jungle, getting his Blink Dagger really quickly because of the no mana cost. It doesn't take him long. You can do it in like what 6 to 8 minutes with boots if you get good stacking going and no one harasses you. So, but then you do weaken your lanes. Yeah, I've seen Wind Ranger a couple times mid recently. I know EGM played at mid and Dandy played at mid yesterday or the day before.
EGM?
Yeah, they had a sub, and EGM played
cool.
Windrunner mid.
Yeah.
It was really weird, but he did really, really well.
Well, he plays a good Windrunner support, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's only... I mean, the top of the top...
what tournament was that? I'd like to see.
Oh, I can't even remember. It was on at like 5 AM, so I was in this kind of dead space of am I awake, am I asleep? Why is EGM playing Wind Ranger? I have to look it up and...
Do you know at least who Alliance were versing?
Nah, man, it was 5 AM.
This does
it
not
doesn't.
help.
Someone in the chat will probably know. Chat, find out.
Figure it out later.
Yep.
This is okay. I'm looking at the team composition now. Seeing Rest Gaming are looking pretty solid. They got hard stuns and the DK stun, the Sand King stun. They've got some massive burst damage as well. And it looks like the only sort of solid initiation that Space Created have is Centaur at this point. So I'm thinking the fights might go to Rest Gaming if they can hold on in the laning phase.
Yeah, all they're going to need in the fights really is a decent AA ult. You've got the Sand King stun, hit one or two people. You try and aim for sort of 2 or 3, but let's not be too optimistic. Then you've got Shackles to come through, Dragon Knight stuns. They've got a hell of a lot of lockdown, as you say, and Space all they have is the Centaur. So, I mean, they can set up with Disruption, but that's not the long range initiation that you have from like
once
a
you get
Sand
to
King
mid
Blink.
and late though, you know, got BKBs in the mix, and the Disrupt arrow combo isn't as reliable anymore. Okay, Wraith.
So could this be a Mirana mid with a carry Wraith King?
It could be a lot of things. Well, Wraith King's definitely going to be a farmer and going to be like their late game. They got 3 not so hard carries, but 3 that can hold their own in late and do a little work. So
nah, man, that's got to be the Dazzle carry and the support Wraith King. Come on, 100%.
Dazzle carry.
Dazzle carry, man. It's totally legit, and we see the Morphling as well. So, I mean, won't have the mana burn to go against the Wraith King, which is always nice, unless no one's rear diffusal carrier on that team. I guess you could pick it up.
Diffusal's a joke for Wraith. No one's really going to get
Necrobooks. Yeah, that's true. Necrobook isn't really gonna. I guess they could just pick it up to have a Necrobook, but it doesn't suit any of the heroes. But
you can just kite the Wraith King, I think. Windrun, Sandstorm, and Burrow Strike, Morphling Wave.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a real hard time actually doing damage, unless they get the setup with the arrows, and then he can just come in and just start hitting people. But in a team fight, that's not going to work, because they're just going to use 1 stun on him, and before he has a BKB, he's just going to sit there doing absolutely nothing. Other than they're going to try and feed the Wraith King, get that huge slow from Reincarnation, and that could be like a semi-initiation, I guess, but you don't really want to just waste his ult straight away to get a slow. Like, it's kind of a waste of a life, but we'll go ahead and introduce the teams after this little engagement, because this could potentially end up violently. They're both going to run into each other. Salt is out the front, but they're not going to look to go in. I think they saw each other there. It's Mum Spaghetti just trying to hide behind the single tree. It's been pinged out by Centaur, so everybody sort of knows this is going on, and no one really wants to take this level 1 fight. I think Space wanted them to run into them, but Rest weren't going to take that bait.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. None of these teams want to do too much risky shit. And this is there's a lot on the line here, right?
Well, it is double Elam.
Tournament where the top 4 get free.
The battle begins.
Flights, accommodation, they get to hang out with me for 2 days, so that's like the best part of it, really. Yeah, well,
I would have thought meeting Kazza in the.
True, yeah, that was actually a good time. I tried to get him drunk, but he wasn't down. It was a bit sad, but yeah. Anyway, we can go ahead and introduce the teams now, because it has all settled down on the side of Space Created. We have Crystal Planet playing the Wraith King. Mirana is going to be handled by 420. Centaur is being played by Jam, or Space Jam if you include the team name. Shadow Demon is being played by Mum Spaghetti, and Dazzle is going to be played by Courier. And do you want to take Rest?
Sure thing. LMK Guy on the Ancient Apparition. Builder Red playing the Morph Carry. Salt as our support Sand King. Mid we have Jester, okay, and Micken on the win. Off lane versus the Centaur.
Yeah. So it does seem that we do have the aggressive tri-lane versus the tri-lane. I think a lot of it is due to the fact that they've got a Morphling, and you don't really want to leave a Morphling to free farm. But do you see much killing potential, other than if they catch a good disruption? Like, Morphling can waveform out, dodge the Wraith Fire Blast. They could go on the AA, unless Sand King comes in for the stun to sort of disengage, but
Okay, well, if they go on the Morphling should live, but